Welcome, everybody, to this Introducing the Family app for Teachers weekly webinar. We are really glad to have you today. We're going to start with some introductions. My name is Paul Freed. I'm the lead trainer here at JMC. I have over 20 years of educational experience. I think I'm joined by Brett Joyce today, head of client services, but I don't see him on. I also have Lynn Evans, who was a former superintendent in the great state of Iowa, and he might join as well, just to monitor the Q&A section as well. So if either of them are on, they'll be able to help me with those Q&A, but I can also do that as well. So why are we here today? Families are now able to get real-time student information, grades, attendance, activities, meal balances, more, all within a few clicks. Here's what's on the agenda. Two things. First, teacher to family communication. So we're going to start with that. It's actually quite simple and quite easy to use inside JMC. And again, being a former teacher, I really like the simplicity and I'll actually say the lack of what teachers need to do to be able to have the family app function. And excellence, there's really nothing, but there's another new option that's there for you. And then after we go through anything you have questions about the JMC teacher and its integration with the JMC family app, I'm going to show you what the family app can do. So we'll talk about innovating for the families we serve. Okay. But first, I just want to do a brief introduction of the JMC family app. This is a 360-degree view of a student's academic and extracurricular world for families on the go. What do you do when so many families are on the move and need to take JMC with them? Now we're introducing JMC's Family app. The Family app allows today's active families to check student grades, monitor attendance, add to the family meal balance, and so much more, all right from their mobile device. Read classroom news during a board meeting, check your meal balance during the soccer match, schedule your son's absence for next week when he's at space camp. The options are limitless. So there is more. When creating the family app, we added features in JMC Office, the JMC Teacher, which we're talking about today, and the parent portal so schools could have the opportunity to customize the experience for families they serve. In JMC Office, we've added an event scheduler and a settings page while fine-tuning period attendance for those hotline submissions. JMC Teacher welcomed classroom news for teachers to better communicate with the families of their students. Test coming up? Let them know. Easy peasy. Last but not least, JMC Parent has a new name, introducing JMC Family. Still all the great features you've come to love, but a new name to match the times. All right, we're going to start with teacher to family communication in the JMC Teacher. But here's what you're going to notice right away. I've only got a few slides for all of you teachers out there. What does that mean? It means that all the work you're already doing in your JMC Teacher to flow to the JMC Family Portal, which is basically publishing assignments, right? Marking students absent and tardy, all of that automatically flows to the JMC Family app as well. So here's what I'm saying. You do not need to do anything for families, for parents to use the JMC Family app. Absolutely nothing. You just keep doing what you're doing. Put your assignments in, put your categories in, grade your students, publish your assignments, mark your students' absence and tardy. All that information, because it flows to the JMC Family Portal, that's what they've been using for the last 20 years in JMC to go online, check their grades, check their attendance, all that information there. All that work you're doing automatically also flows into the JMC Family app. So I want to repeat that one more time. You as a teacher, as an educator, don't need to add 1 second to your day for families to use the JMC Family app. It's already be fully functioning for them. But we wanted to innovate for you because we asked ourselves and we asked teachers too, what could the family app do for you? And the question that or the answer that came back to us was communication, improved communication, because teachers are always looking for ways to improve communication with their families. So let's get into it. You'll find it in your JMC Teacher at Family App to Classroom News, in JMC Teacher at Family App to Classroom News. So Classroom News provides another way for teachers to keep families in the know about what's going on in their student classroom. So step one, you'll select the course you'd like to update in the courses drop-down list, right? Should be very familiar for you because we're almost through the end of the school year. Step two, click the Add New link to enter your classroom news. All right, updates written in Classroom News funnel straight to the family app in real time. What a great way to communicate news, events, and happenings directly to families. So step three, enter the news update in the classroom news field. Then, helpful tip, have a big test coming up. Need to wrangle those permission slips? Does a student rock a project to win an award? Let everyone know. Put it in there as classroom news. Step four, click the update link to publish your news or cancel to discard. The news might be published, but it can still be edited and deleted if a mistake was made, right? So helpful tip, your news, once it's updated, will now be saved in this news list box over here. Fun fact, for easy reference later, click the entry date. So I just click on this right here and time located in the news list box to review your classroom news entry at a later date. So you come in, you can see it here, and then of course you can edit it or delete it if you want to edit or delete those particular items. That's all there is to it. So let's take a live look at that, how simple it is. So here I am. I'm in the JMC Teacher. I'm going to go under Family App, Classroom News, choose the course that you want to work with. I've got American history, I've got world history, all kinds of different things that we have listed here. I come here to American literature. They've got a quiz tomorrow. I click add new. We have some demo text in there for you. Let me make this a little bit smaller there for you, but you can type in whatever you want. Tomorrow, we will have a quiz on 19th century American poets. Luckily, we've got spell check in there. I think it needs to be capitalized. There we go. American poets. And then you could add whatever else you want there. Click update, and you're good to go. That will be in the news feed, which I'll show you in just a few minutes here when I show you how the functionality works in the JMC Family app. If I want to edit or delete it, I can come in here. I can delete that out. I can edit it and so on and so forth. Now, the other thing to note is that you can't put news in the future. It's only meant for today. So you come in today and let people know about things that happened today or yesterday. Again, this is to keep it simple, right? We want to keep it simple for you. Keep it simple for your families, right? We know that people can get overwhelmed with messages coming in, right? So we don't want a teacher to say, hey, here's the next 10 messages I have and to put it out there. What happened today? What happened yesterday? Hey, I'm letting you know what's going to be happening tomorrow. Really easy to run. Again, it's all under Family App to Classroom News. Just simply come in, choose the course you want to work with, add that new news in. And you can do multiple news items too. If I go back to American literature here, right, I come in, add another new item if I want to, even today if I want to, but again, you probably might add it for tomorrow or the upcoming school days as well. So really easy to handle there as well. So that is all you need to know about what's running in the teacher items here. So there again, I've got a couple reminders here. The office can add events in, which we'll show you in a little bit here, and teachers can post their news there as well. So question and answer time. Knowing that I'm going to be showing you what the Family app does in just a moment, is there any questions about what the JMC Teacher does and how it integrates with the Family app? And you might have some questions that come up um, after I show you what the Family app can do. But if you got a question, you can type it in the Q&A item on the bottom of your screen there. Just go ahead and type your message in there, or myself or one of the panelists will get to it and we'll read it off and answer that. But any questions about classroom news or publishing assignments or anything like that, it's very straightforward. As we go through that Family upside, that might bring up other questions that are coming up as well. So the last thing to note before I move on, and if there's no questions, is that you can see this item in your JMC Teacher right now. The Family app should be released, I think, tomorrow. I've got that later on in this presentation. But you can go in there, you can start it in that classroom news. So when then families log in for the first time, they can see that information. The only thing I would check to see is you might want to talk to your administrative team about when they plan on rolling out the JMC Family app to your families. You know, I last week we had a presentation just for your office and administrative team, and I mentioned in there, you know, you want to be thoughtful about it. So you might want to roll it out to a couple of your teachers first, who are parents of families in the school, and then maybe roll out to a few choice families in your school, maybe just for the end of the year to test it out, make sure it works the way you expect it to work, and then roll it out to everybody over the summer, right? But be thoughtful about it. And the reason I say that to you as teachers is that you don't want to put a bunch of classroom news in there if your administrative staff doesn't plan on rolling it out until June or something like that. So communicate with your team so everybody's on the same page of who's doing what and when they can start entering that information in. All right, no questions. So let's keep rolling. We are innovating for the families we serve. Logging into the Family app. So I'm presenting this as if I was presented to families, and that's what I'm going to be showing next week as well. This webinar is for teachers. I'll talk about it a little bit from a teacher perspective more, and next week we'll be talking about purely from a family perspective. So logging in the Family app is easy as 1, 2, 3. Families will use the same username and password that they use to log in the JMC Family portal. They'll come in here. They'll have a PIN code that they entered in here. If they forgot their PIN code, they can click the Forgot PIN code item. Then what happens if they click Forgot PIN code, it'll bring up a PIN code help screen. Then they enter in the same username and password that they've always entered in here for the JMC family portal. So no need to remember the username and password. But if they forgot it, they can click the forgot username or password item listed here. We will tell them what their school is that they're listed here as well. And also, we got a shortcut. They can use biometrics, which we call Face ID or Touch ID, instead of entering their login credentials each time they log in. And let's say that they maybe have entered the wrong PIN code, or they've got students in multiple school districts, which does happen. They can click the Switch School Districts here to switch to a different district. So this is an overview of logging into the family app. Now we're going to get into the bits and pieces. So first of all, where can I find it? iOS and Android lovers unite. We've made the JMC family app for both of you. And before you can even ask, why yes, it does work on an iPad. Search for the family app in both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store using keywords such as JMC family app, student success, and 360-degree view. Time to rally, everyone. Let's get this thing downloaded, installed, and families underway. Depending on your device, instructions might vary. So in a nutshell, for Apple folks, you'll tap the blue Get button beside the name to begin downloading. Step 2, you'll follow the on-screen instructions to verify the download. And step 3, click the Open button to launch the app. Now, again, this is not, if you go out there today, it's not going to be available for you. And I'll talk about that a little bit later because it has to be approved in the App Store and the Google Play Store. It's in process as we speak. So today is Wednesday, the 28th. You'll have to wait at least till the afternoon of Thursday, the 29th, or Friday, the 30th, to be able to access this. If you are going to an Android device, to the Google Play Store, you'll tap the Family app to begin downloading. Step 2, tap the install link to begin the installation. And step 3, tap the accept link after you have after you reviewed the information to finish the installation. The first step in logging is to connect the app to your kiddo's school. This simple to do ensures you're viewing the correct information. So step 1, click the Family app button on your mobile device to open it up, just like you would any app. Step 2, connect the app to your district by entering the district's 4-digit mobile app PIN code. Now, here's a helpful tip. Can't remember how to find your district's PIN code? No worries. Simply click the Need Help Finding PIN Code link and follow the directions here on the PIN code help screen as well. Now, the PIN code, just so you know, is in the JMC family portal right under where their login information is listed there. I put that on the office side because I don't see teachers necessarily telling families A, to go log in, or B, what their PIN code is. That seems like more of an office administrative item. And so they'll be educating your families on how to do that. But if you wanted to get in there and you were a teacher and a parent, you could find that on the login screen of your JMC family portal there. Okay. Next is step 3, click the verify button to connect the app to your district and move to the login screen. So you can click verify right there. All right. Your district's name should now be displayed underneath the JMC logo right here. If so, you've successfully connected the app to your district. The app will remember your district and not ask again. Let's get logged in. Step 1, enter the username and password in the appropriate fields to get connected. Helpful tip, the app uses the same username and password combination as the family portal, so you don't need anything new. Almost there. We need to verify who you are to pull together a 360-degree view of your kid's academic life. So step 2 is to click that verify button. So you'll click that verify button right there. Then, if you can't remember your login credentials, you can click the forgot username or password and then follow the directions to recover them. Okay, so this is just like it is in the JMC family portal, right? On the JMC family portal, the login screen, you can click to request your username, which is emailed to you, or reset your password, which emails your email address listed in the JMC office and allows you to reset that password. You don't even need to bug the office. So here's some key takeaways. First, you can download the app for free. The JMC Family app can be downloaded at no cost to any user from the Google Play Store and from the Apple Play Store, Apple App Store as well. Have your PIN code ready. The PIN code needed to enter into the JMC Family app to connect to your school's database is found at the bottom of the JMC Family Portal login page or on the top right corner of any screen in the JMC Family Portal. So it'll say mobile PIN 9997 right here. And again, use your existing username and password. The username and password you've been using all year to log into the JMC Family Portal is the same username and password you'll use to log into the JMC Family app. So all right, let's see if there's any questions. Anybody have any questions about the login process for the JMC Family Portal? It's a pretty straightforward process. I think that what I recommend, and you can, if maybe you're the lead person on this in your school district, would be that when you decide to roll it out to a couple of your test families, let them know right away what the PIN code is, right? So if you're going to send out an email or send out a text message or something like that to informing them, I wouldn't necessarily tell them, hey, go to the JMC family portal, look up your PIN code. You can do that. You can send it to them, and then you'll be good to go. All right. Doesn't look like there's any questions. We'll keep on rolling. The dashboard. Now you can get real-time student information on the go. With the JMC Family app, important information on grades, attendance, activities, and more is just a few taps away. Now, what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to give you a brief overview, and then I'm going to get into the bits and pieces here. So, this is a central hub of activity here. You'll be able to view 8 different types of alerts in one spot to help you keep better informed on your kiddo's day-to-day progress. This includes items listed under the Hamburger Menu icon, which is access to school information from making a lunch deposit to find your school's phone number. It's all at your fingertips. All right. Did you know you need to deposit funds into your lunch account? Okay. If you get a lunch account notice here, you can click on that and make a deposit really quickly. Next, we have the dashboard icon listed right here. This will tap this to return right to the home. Then you've got your academics down here. You can tap the academics icon to see a bird's eye view of your student's academic world, including GPA, class schedule, upcoming assignments, teachers, and grades. Then down here is the activities icon, right? They're kind of hard to see, but I'll be blowing them up here in just a little bit. You can see a full calendar of all your kiddos' extracurricular events with dates, times, and locations. And there's an attendance icon. Stay in the know about your kiddos' past absences and tardies while reporting upcoming ones in the attendance hotline. And we have a customized view as well. View information for all your kiddos at once, or you can trim down your feed by filtering for a single child by tapping the student avatars. And who's this for? You can find information that applies to your kiddos by looking for their student avatar. So these specific items here, as you can see here, these items here apply to all 3 kids in this family, whereas these particular ones only apply to particular students here. It might be kind of hard to see, but this student right here has a different picture than the student right here. So they are different students in your family. All right, there are a few ways to get back to the dashboard here, okay? Once I click on the students here, it'll allow me to come up here and decide which students I want to see by tapping the check marks next to a student's name. But there are a few ways again to get back to the dashboard. You can swipe down here, or you can tap the X to view your students. All right, this is the central hub. The dashboard is the hub of all student activity. Families can see again those 8 different types of alerts to see their kiddos' day-to-day activities and progress. So let's take a look. Step 1. View the items on the dashboard and you can tap them to display more information. Step 2, tap that back arrow. Okay, there'll be a back arrow right here. It's kind of a little bit covered up here to get back to finish viewing an item after you've seen the details listed there. Helpful tip, to filter the dashboard for a specific student, tap the student avatars at the top right, listed right here, to select which students to view. Tap the check mark circle right here next to the student name to toggle them on or off for the dashboard view. Select View Students or click the X here when done to close the student selection and pop up. Maybe you've got a kid who's a preschooler and no information comes in for that student. You don't want to, be bothered by that. You could uncheck them right here and then they wouldn't show up. But maybe once a week you want to come in and see that information. You can take care of that. All right, now we're going to alert you with the details. There's a variety of alerts ranging from a nudge about a low meal balance to an announcement in the classroom news. So here's a lunch account alert. It's a gentle reminder of the family student meal lunch account balance is below the threshold set. You can make a deposit right from the lunch account notice on the alert page. Again, more details on that in a little bit. Out of the tater tot casserole or introducing strawberry milk to the cart, you can read more about it here. So if your school makes a meal change, they can alert you there and it will tell you what that meal change is. Then we've got activities alerts here. It's our one-stop shop for each of our kiddos' extracurriculars. What will happen is you can see the information that's listed here and two pretty cool things. First, you've got the location of the event is clickable and will open the map application on your device, give directions to the event. And if you're running late, the phone number of the contact is clickable to make a phone call directly from this screen. Just opens up, right? Your phone calling system on your mobile device and you're good to go. And then we've got school news details as well. Great. These are real time, classroom updates from teachers, right? That's those exciting things that are coming down the line for you as well. Then we got 4 other items here. We've got a late score alert. Uh-oh, kiddo didn't turn their assignment on time. Then we've got a missing score detail as well. If they're missing a score, thing to note here is that you can come in and email the teacher ASAP. The email is clickable here to email the teacher to say, hey, what's going on with the student's assignment? And that missing score alert is that big oof, right? Student has not turned in their assignment. You can view the class, teacher, and how the student did on their assignment. We also have a grade alert. You'll see I have different names here. Late score detail, missing score detail, grade alert detail. A kiddo's grade has fallen below a parent set threshold percentage. View the class, teacher, and current grade for the class. And then there's an attendance alert. A kiddo has been marked as absent or tardy. View the date of the absence or tardy and the reason why. So lots of items there. So let's just give you an overview here, and then I'll get into the bits and pieces. On the Family App dashboard, you'll encounter a variety of alerts. Here's a breakdown. The grade alert is when a kiddo's grade falls below a parent set threshold percentage. The school news are exciting happenings from your classroom. The activities are extracurriculars your kiddos participate in. The lunch account is your meal balance is below the threshold. Late score, uh-oh, your kiddo didn't turn their assignment in time. Missing score, bigger uh-oh, your kiddo failed to turn in an assignment. Attendance alert, one of your kiddos has been marked absent or tardy. And lunch menu, a change has been made, a change to a meal menu made by the school. But here's the cool thing. I was going to go back here, right? They're all listed right here, right? They come in and they'll be able to check and see each of those items. They'll just scroll down, make sure they're up to date on what's going on in their kiddos' lives. So any questions about those different messages that you can receive from the office? Use that Q&A chat feature at the bottom of your screen. You can type in any question you want, and then we can get into it. Um, when I did the presentation last time, there's not a lot of questions about the family because I think for two reasons. Number one, it's intuitive, right? And number two, once you get into it, that's where you'll start to see how that functionality works. But we're bringing lots of new information in there, but it works hand in hand with the JMC Family Portal, right? Families are used to going online to finding the information that they want and clicking on the appropriate screens to see a report card or print an unofficial transcript or check the credit check or whatever it might be. Well, this does it one step further in the fact that you put it in one spot in the JMC teacher or the JMC office, and that information is served. I'm going to go right back to that screen, right? It's served up to the families right here. So families again, they're on the go. They want to keep up to date what's going on. This is going to tell them what's going on. All right. Doesn't look like there is any questions. So let's keep on going. I got ahead of myself there. Here's the academics, right? This is the part that applies to teachers in many ways. So families can stay in the know of all things academic. They can see a bird's eye view of your student's academic world, including GPA, class schedule, upcoming assignments, teachers, grades, and attendance. So I'm going to give you an overview, then I'll get to the bits and pieces. First is the calendar item here. You can view a student's academic life, including assignments, due for a day, GPA, classroom updates, and teacher information. Okay. If they see an indicator dot underneath, so this has got a dot, this one's got a dot, this one's got a dot, these ones don't here, you can track what assignments are due by the day by tapping on that day. Then you can tap an assignment to see additional detail like this world history right here, or this biology assessment here. It will show you the email link to the teacher, the assignment name, total points possible, and the kiddo's score on that assignment. You can quickly tap the calendar icon, right, which is at the top, to return today's date, okay? Because why? You can navigate to future weeks by swiping from right to left of the date banner. So you might want to look ahead or look behind. Well, just go ahead and click that calendar, and that'll bring you right back to today. Now, once you've clicked on assignment, there's assignment info, including more information about the homework due, including teacher details and points. Need more information? The email address is clickable to send a quick email message there. Now, that was the calendar item there. So if I go back here, right, when I click on the calendar, it shows me a calendar of dates here to see those assignments. When I click on the grades item here, you'll see your student's full class load and how they're doing in each class. Now, when you come here, I'll get to the GPAs in just a second here. But if the GPAs are all zeros, right? So these kids have a GPAs listed here. It's on a 12-point scale. If they're all zeros, that student probably doesn't take any courses that are set to calculate GPA. So probably an elementary student. Right? Judy's in kindergarten here. So Judy is in courses, but of course they're not calculating a GPA. Then there's grade info right here. So I'll show the bits in just a moment here. When I click on a student here, I'll see how they're doing in each particular class, and that will alert you. So after tapping an icon, just so you know, it will turn yellow to alert you what your selection is. Now, if I click on a particular class, it will drill down in a class to see the detail to the assignment level on a progress report, just like they see online in the JMC Family Portal. Now there's more things as well. So I was on the grades. Now if I click on news, you can stay current with access to the latest class information from teachers. That's the news item right there. So when you put news out here, this is where they're going to see it. So unread, unread, and read news. Okay, they can tap the triangle next to unread news and read news to expand or collapse the corresponding section that's listed here. Which update for which student? Don't forget you can easily identify which news items is for each student by looking at the student avatar. All right, Then there's academic info. So when you click on this, it can bring up more information, right? This is just a little snippet of the first, let's say, 100 characters or so. They can click on it to get more info about the class update, including the date it was posted. Need more information? Got the email address for your teacher listed right there. Next, we've got about the teachers. So I clicked on news before. Now I'm going to click on teachers. Teachers is listed in yellow right here. You'll see all the teachers tied to a student and the classes they teach. And then when you click on a student, you'll virtually meet a kiddo's teacher and tap the email address to send an email. Hello. So let's get into the bits and pieces here. Want to see what assignments are due for a certain class this week or how a kiddo did on an essay yesterday? Tap the academics icon right down here on the bottom navigation bar in the calendar sub-navigation. Okay, so I'm on my calendar. I'm in that academics area listed right there as well. Now, again, to remind you, as teachers, you don't need to do anything. You just publish your grades, just like you do to push the grades out to the JMC Family Portal. They'll be pushed to the JMC Family app as well. Step one, swipe left or right to scroll through the calendar dates. Helpful tip, a dot below the date indicates there's at least one assignment for that day. Step two, tap a date to select or view a list of assignments for that date. Step three, tap an assignment to see the additional details, including an email link to the teacher, the assignment name, total points possible, and your kiddo score on the assignment. Check out one of your students' assignments and then navigate back to the list of daily work to keep on top of all your kiddos' work. Fun fact, the teacher's email address will be listed here, so you can send them a quick note. Step four, we talked about this before. You can click the back arrow to return to the list of assignments for your selected date. Helpful tip, tap the calendar icon at the top of the navigation bar to quickly return to today's date. How is your student doing overall? Check their GPA and progress reports on the fly so there's no surprise at the end of the term. Tap the academics icon right here. Uh, uh, tap the academics icon on the bottom of the navigation bar and then the grades subheading here. Okay, so I moved from calendar to grades. Step one, depending on the school's settings, you may see three GPAs for your child, including term GPA, year GPA, and cumulative GPA. Helpful tip, GPAs update automatically as your child's grades change, so you always have an up-to-date GPA. Want to know why your student has the displayed GPA? Check out the grades they have for each course. Fun fact, if your student has an incomplete GPA due to a missing score, an asterisk will appear listed there. Step two, tap this kiddo's GPA to get a grade summary for each course here. So if I click algebra right here, it'll bring up the progress report right here. If recent progress information has been published by the teacher, you'll see updated date above the course name. So this was updated on 10/15 or 3/12 or whatever it might be there. Okay. Step three, tap the course to list in the list view. Tap a course in the list view of your student's progress report for the course, and then you'll see it listed right here. You can pinch and zoom. That's a helpful tip. Just like you do in other items there, you can pinch and you can zoom to get a closer look at your kiddo's progress report because it might be kind of small on your mobile device, depending on the size of the screen. Step four, click that back arrow again to return to the grades info page. All right, here's that classroom news we talked about. Read up to the minute updates provided by your students, teachers in the newsfeed. Tap the academics icon right down here, just like we talked about before, in the bottom navigation bar, and then the news subheading to see a list of all classroom news entries. Step one, tap a news entry in the feed to view the full update, including a link to the teacher's email. That's listed right here. So I tapped American literature, and here's my American literature. Helpful tip, click the triangle next to unread news or read news to expand or collapse the corresponding section. Step two, again, tap that back arrow there. Fun fact, after reading a news update, it will be moved to the read news section for later, which will be listed at the bottom of this screen. The academic teacher page lists all of your child's teachers for the current school year. Let's take a look at that navigation. Tap the academics icon at the bottom of the navigation bar, right, we're on that same one listed right here, but now you can tap the teachers item listed right there to see all the classes that they teach for your students. Step one, tap a teacher for more detail, including their photo, a clickable email address, and link where the class meets. Step two, again, tap that arrow to get back to a list of your teachers. Fun fact, the teacher's email address is listed there if you want to click on it. So I like this. I think that think of times when I've been at a sporting event or an extracurricular activity and I see a teacher, I'm thinking, I know that that teacher has my kid. I don't remember their name or I don't remember what class they teach. Now you can come here and say, all right, let's look through this here and see what is listed for those particular teachers that my kids have. All right, that's the academics part. As I said before, you can type in any questions you have in that Q&A chat item at the bottom. Um, You don't need to enter classroom news in, but you sure can. It's up to you. But by simply publishing your assignments, that's going to be able to push those items that are listed out there as well. So the teachers that I've talked to are excited about this because they want families to have easier access to the grading information. And let's face it, lots of families don't have a computer at home. Lots do, but lots don't. And for those that don't, some of them do have a smartphone, right? That's their on-the-go information. This way they can be able to check up-to-date grades on the go without having to go to the library or stopping at the school or you know borrow their kid's laptop from school, whatever it might be. They can be able to just go in and check out that information on their own. All right, I don't see any questions, so we're going to keep on rolling. Activities. So juggling activities is no tough act. Do your kiddos have activities coming up? See a high-level view of your students' extracurricular world in no time. So again, this is a high-level view of what the activities can do. Then I'll get into the bits and pieces just like I've been doing here. So first off, they can they can see an indicator dot here to track which days the activities are on. So again, just like with assignments, there's an activity indicator dot there. Same for activities. See a dot, there's an activity for that day. You can come in and they can navigate to future weeks or past by swiping right, left to right. But again, you can click that calendar icon at the top to return to today. You need to know a kiddo's activities for tomorrow. Tap the day to see it, just like you would before with that, looking at the assignments that are upcoming as well. Now you can find out more. You can tap an activity to see additional details, including more information about the event, the date, time, and location. Just begin by tapping that listed item right there. So if I click on this one right here, like softball tryouts, right, it brings up a new screen here with the information. Everything you need to know about the event, including a clickable map, is right on here. We can get you there. The location of the event is clickable right here, and we'll open to the map application on your device to give you directions. Running late, just like we talked about, the phone number of the contact is clickable to place a call directly from this screen through your mobile device's phone dialer system. Now, need to know where your student has to play practice this week or where the soccer game is? Find out on the activities page. Tap the activities icon at the bottom of the navigation bar right here. A dot below the date indicates at least one activity for that day. So this week I've got 3 activities, but they're all here on Tuesday the 20th. Step 2, tap a date here to select and view the list of events for that date. It'll default to today, of course. Step 3, tap an event to see additional details, including the event date and time and location. So I tapped softball tryouts. Here's the expanded details listed there. You ever gone to a place where you thought an activity was only to find out it was moved? I've done that. You use the app to get you where you need to be to cheer your kids on. Fun fact again, the address is clickable. We'll open a map application on your device to get to the directions of the event. Step 4, tap the back arrow button to get back to all your selected date. Helpful tip, tap the calendar icon at the top of the navigation bar to quickly return to today's date. All right. Any questions about viewing activities by families? The activities will be entered in 2 ways. So again, I'm kind of just telling you a few more things as folks type in any questions they might have. But activities can be entered in manually by the office. They can go in and they can enter in, extracurricular events or play practice or chess club, wherever it might be. And then all the kids in those activities, their families will be able to see that information. We also have on May 19th a webinar on our iCal integration, which means let's say your school uses Our School Today or something like that uses the iCal function. They can then go in and set up an integration where they can copy and paste a link from a specific activity, and in Our School Today as an example, into the JMC activities module, and then it will then import and update on a nightly basis all the activities for that particular extracurricular activity. So lots of great things to do. So we're not only saving families time by giving them easier access, we're saving the school office and athletic directors time by putting that information at the fingertips of families, whether it's entered manually or it's imported via an iCal integration. All right, we're rolling through. Not hardly any questions today. Attendance, right? Like I said before, you can take attendance. It's automatically going to show up here just like the JMC Family Portal. But we do have a new feature available for your families. It's the attendance hotline. There's no need to call the office. The attendance hotline feature allows families to submit absence and tardy information to the school office without having to pick up the phone. Upcoming absences will be listed here for your future absences. What's an upcoming absence? It means that you as a parent or a guardian have submitted an upcoming absence for the office to review. And then we got past absences here. See absences for the year for all your kiddos in one list and tap for more information. Okay. Now, you can submit an absence here. You can tap the attendance hotline icon on the bottom navigation bar, then the plus button in the bottom right to report a new absence. What happens when you click on this? It brings up a new screen. You You can schedule absences for upcoming trips, medical appointments, and out sick days right in the family app with a few steps. If it's an all-day absence, tap the full day absence circle listed there. And then we got absence info. You can view the details from your attendance submission after you've submitted it. So really handy, or even for a past absence as well. So this is the overview. Let's get to the bits and pieces. Stay in the know about your kiddo's past absences and tardies while reporting upcoming absences in the attendance hotline list. Tap the attendance hotline icon on the bottom navigation bar, right? That's this one listed right here, to view a list of all past and upcoming absences, including their dates and length of absence. Okay, step one, tap the attendance entry to view attendance detail, which will be listed right here. Helpful tip, tap the triangle next to past absences here or upcoming absences to expand or collapse that section. Step two, tap the arrow back button here to be able to get back there and to get back to the previous listing. Helpful tip, want to view your submission at a later date, tap the entry to view the details. Fun fact, submit a new absence using the plus button right from the palm of your hand. So when I click on this, it's going to open that new screen here. This is that attendance hotline. There's no need to call the office anymore. The attendance hotline feature allows families to submit absence and tardy information to the school office without having to pick up the phone. Families can now schedule absences for upcoming trips, medical appointments, and out sick days right in the JMC Family app. This now eliminates the hassle of trying to find the school phone number and leaving a message. Whew. Step one, select the kiddo that will be absent using the select student drop-down list. Step two, place a check mark in the full day absence circle if your kid will be absent all day. You're just a few clicks away. Let's keep on rolling. Step three, enter the start date and time and end date and time in the appropriate fields. Step four, enter a reason for the absence. And step five, click the submit button to send your scheduled absence to the school. Fun fact, when a future absence is submitted, the office will receive, or sorry, excuse me, the families will receive a confirmation email of the pending absence or tardy. That way, they can say your kid's on the phone or something like that, and they submit it, you would get an email saying, hey, just to let you know, an absence was submitted by you for your students, so you can double check it. All right, now you can use that Q&A chat feature in the bottom if you want to ask any questions about the viewing attendance or the attendance hotline feature. As I wait to see if anybody has any questions, a couple things to note are this. Number one is the attendance hotline feature is optional when using the JMC Family app. What I mean by that is that your school can allow families to use the family app, but they can have the attendance hotline turned off if they don't want to use it. So I think, what's my recommendation? It's so easy to use. I probably would just turn it on because not all your families are going to start using it right away. And even if they do, it's quicker and faster than using like the phone, right? So it's up to you if you want to use it or not. But if you're hesitant, I probably would tell a school to, turn on the family app for a month, let the families use it, and then turn on that attendance hotline and let a few families know, hey, you can do this, and let them try it out until you get comfortable. All right. Still no questions there. I'll keep on rolling. Here are some key takeaways. First, you can see what's happening. The dashboard appears as soon as you log into the JMC Family app and will display all the important news items from your school automatically. There's grades and progress reports. The academic areas empowers you to keep up to date on all of your academic progress, including GPAs and progress reports. Where are the events? The activities area permits you to see where and when activities are taking place. Click on the address of any event to bring up your mobile device's mapping function to get you to the event right on time. And no need to call the office. The attendance hotline feature allows families to submit absence and tardy information to the school office without having to pick up the phone. All right, here is the hamburger menu. Again, broad overview first, then I'll get into the bits and pieces. This is what you need to know from A to Z regarding your kid's school. So here's the hamburger menu, okay? Access to your school information from making a lunch deposit to finding your school's phone number, all at your fingertips. So you'll have school information, which has clickable links to your address, school's address, main phone number, and website. There's a school map to select to find easily, the school map, which is a map of your selected school building to easily find your way. A school bell schedule, a list of the start and stop times for each class period throughout the day. Then you've got your school calendar, which is your school's academic calendar. And then your teachers, which are listed here. All teachers in the school listed with their picture, email link, and classes taught. Somebody's got a dog in the background there here. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. The joys of working at home, right? Absolutely. Then, exiting the family app, you can swipe right to access your previous page if you want to get away from the hamburger menu. We also have meal balances listed right here, a meal account balance for your family and your student account, including the option to make a deposit right from within the app. There's a menu, tap the link to see your district's meal menus. And then settings is a variety of settings from enabling Touch ID to adjusting the student grade thresholds to customize your experience. And then quick links. These are easy access to frequently visited sites recommended by your school. And here's where you can also access the logout link to log out of the JMC Family app. All right, let's get to the specifics. So families have easy access to school information from making lunch deposits to finding the school's phone number. It's all at their fingertips. Step one, tap the three bars right up here in the upper left-hand corner to reveal the hamburger menu choices. So I tap this, whoop, this is gonna show up. Step two, simply tap the menu item you'd like to view. Helpful tip, if you have kiddos in two buildings in the district, you'll see a more link in the upper right on the select pages. Clicking the more will allow you to select a different school building to view information for that building instead. Step three, click the logout link to log out of the JMC family. You will be required to sign in again the next time you access. So again, going to show you a few items of what they do here. First is school information. The address, phone, and website are all clickable on the screen. So need to contact the school, the phone number of the building is clickable and place a call directly from the screen through, of course, your mobile app's calling device there. Need to visit the school website? Just click the URL for easy access here. Now, the location of the school is also clickable. We'll open the map application on your device to get you directions listed there. All right, now if you have, you can look for the more link in the upper right corner of the select pages for a different school building to view information for that building. Now, in my demo here, I've got one K-12 building, but if you've got, an elementary, middle school, and a high school, or a couple elementaries and a couple of middle schools and maybe one high school, that more item will be listed there to choose the different buildings that you want to see. Whereas the auditorium, a full school map will be listed here as well. What's the bell schedule? Know when each period starts and ends. Maybe you got to drop off lunch for your kid or something like that as well. And a calendar. When's that holiday break this year? No, no school day without hunting for it. I've been to many schools where it's a no school day, President's Day, or one of those that kind of sneaks up and some kid gets dropped off at school and they got to call the family and say, hey, you got to come pick your kid up, right? Well, this will allow families to get up in the morning and tap on that and say, oh, don't have school today. All right, so here's more information on the go, all about the teachers, right? You can see all the teachers tied to a student and the classes they teach, right? So this is every teacher in the school. So before I showed you on the academic side, they can see all the teachers connected to you as a family. Here, this will show everybody because maybe you want to connect with a teacher who's not teaching your student. You can see them all there and their picture as well. They can tap the email address to send an email hello if you want to connect with that particular teacher. Also, you can see what's on for lunch. They can tap the links to any of your district's meal menus listed here as well. And here's the quick links. Your school has pulled together a list of frequently visited sites recommended by your school. So that's the overview. Let's look at the bits and pieces. So here's a breakdown of the types of info you'll find within the Hamburger menu. School information. That's the first one right here. It's clickable links to your school's address, main phone number, and website. I love this because you want to be able to find it easily, get to where you're going. School map, a map of your selected school building. And maybe it's not the whole map. Maybe it's just a map to the auditorium or something like that. It's whatever you think you want to use. School bell schedule, a list of start and stop times for each class period throughout the day. Again, really handy because maybe you've got this with this distance learning, right? You've got different days and what the bell schedule might be. School calendar, your school's academic year calendar. I know that sometimes I have trouble finding a calendar on a school's website. Now there's no hunting and pecking. You can just go right here and click on it. Teachers, all teachers in the school are listed with their picture, email link, and classes taught. Then there's a meal balance, the meal account balance for your family and student account, including the option to make a deposit right within the app. There's a menu listed here to any of your district's meal menus, and a settings here, a variety of settings from enabling Touch ID to adjusting grade thresholds to customize your experience. And then we got the quick links, easy access to frequently visited sites recommended by your school. So let's get into those bits here, such as the meal balances, okay? View meal account balances and deposit funds directly from the palm of your hand. So you can check your meal account balance and make a deposit at any time. Once you click deposit, it will bring up a new screen. Use the app to make a deposit and the funds will be available to your students in a flash. Even save payment methods for future use. If you need a receipt, enter your email address in the email address to receive a receipt. So how do we do it? First, no matter where you may be, stay on top of your meal account balance and make a deposit into your student's lunch account. Yes. Step 1, view where your meal balance sits at the moment. Step 2, click the deposit button to add money to your meal account. Did you forget to put money into your kids' lunch accounts? No problem. Use the app to make a deposit, and the funds will be available to your students in a flash. Of course, this is only available if your school uses the ability through JMC to make credit card deposits. So, step 1, select the meal account in which you'd like to make a deposit using the meal account drop-down list. Step 2, select a saved account or create a new one in the saved account drop-down list, because if you've put one in before, then those items will be listed there. Step 3, enter your first and last name in the appropriate fields. Okay, rolling through it. Now, helpful tip, check the Save Accounts Later circle to store your account method. So when you put in your information here, right, a new little button will say, be listed there called Save Accounts for Later. If you want to save that so you don't need to re-enter every time, go ahead and do that. It's super secure with JMC. And also our payment processor called Payment Springs. Step 4, enter the amount you'd like to deposit in the deposit amount field. Step 5, enter all the payment details using the appropriate fields. Enter your credit or debit card information or your bank account details in the appropriate fields that are listed there. Step 6, enter your email address in the email address field to receive a receipt. Step 7, click the submit button to process your payment. Great. So that's the lunch side there. Then we get to our settings, right? This is really handy. It also is very similar. There's some crossover between what happens here, what happens in the JMC family portal. So families will already be familiar with it. So first, there'll be account settings. There'll be biometrics, notifications, and the option to switch districts. So what do we have here? We have, first of all, the use Touch ID for login. Use biometrics, Face ID, Touch ID, instead of entering your login credentials each time. There'll be email notifications or push notifications. When alerts occur, get an email or push notification or both by turning those on. Student settings, tap a student to customize notification settings. When you do that, right, that'll bring up this screen right here. I'll get to that in just a moment. Do you have a kiddo that attends 2 different districts? You can tap to enter a PIN for a different school district by switching right through here. So that's really handy. So when you tap a child, you'll be able to set notifications for them. There's alert settings here. You can set when you want to know about a low balance, of course, for your whole family, or when a kiddo has an attendance event, right? Absence or tardy, whatever it might be. And there's class grade alerts. Set the thresholds for finding out your kiddo's score. All right, let's get into those bits and pieces now. Customize the alerts you'd like to receive from your school, the alert settings and class grade alerts. That way you can always be aware of when your student's academics or meal balances needs your attention. Click the Hamburger menu in the upper left on the JMC Family app and tap the settings link in the list to access your account and student settings. Step 1, toggle the Use Touch ID for login to enable or disable Touch or Face ID. Totally up to you. Set the alert preferences to determine exactly how you want to be notified. If you have a student in different school district, this is where you can also switch from one district to another. So step 1, toggle the Use Email for alerts to begin receiving an email copy of dashboard alerts as they happen. Step 3, toggle Use push notifications for alerts to receive push notifications for dashboard alerts so you can be notified even when the app is not open. This is what other apps will do, right? They'll push it out and it'll pop up to show you the things that are coming up there, like on Facebook and so on. Step 4, click the Switch Districts link to log into a different district. Use this feature when you have a child in each of 2 districts. Helpful tip, you'll be redirected to the school PIN code page to enter the new district PIN. The student notification settings allow you to personalize when you'll be contacted about your kiddo's academic career. Let's take a closer look and dig into what types of alerts you receive. Step 1, tap your child's name to personalize the notifications for that child, right? So I've tapped on Francis here. Step 2, enter the meal balance alert threshold to receive an email alert when your lunch balance dips below the set amount. So I've got $15 in here. Step 3, toggle on or off the score and attendance alerts to receive a push notification or email alert in the all settings area as desired. Don't wait to get an email from your teacher to let you know that you are falling behind. Set a low percentage for each course so you'll be alerted before a missing assignment becomes a real problem for your student success. Fun fact, the alert settings can also be set in your JMC Family Portal, right? These ones cross over. So step 4, enter the percentage threshold of when to be notified of your student's class grade in the class grade alert section. Be made aware of any changes to their progress. Step 5, click the Save button to save any changes. So again, this can be done here or in the JMC Family Portal. So here's some key takeaways. Maps, menu, and more. The Hamburger Menu gives you access to helpful pieces of school information so you don't have to search through your school's website to find what you need. Deposit and they go. You can forget to put money in your kid's lunch account, no problem. Use the app to make a deposit, and the funds will be available to your students in a flash. And your settings. Customize the alerts you want to receive from school with the alert settings and class grade alerts so you can be made aware of when your student's academics or meal balance needs your attention. All right. Any questions about those? There's a lot of information there. You can use the Q&A chat feature now to ask any questions you have about those items that are listed there. I think, as a person who is on the go a lot, right? I visit lots of schools for JMC and do lots of teacher trains and things like that. I find myself pretty regularly going to schools' websites to find things. We have an app that we use as well that we can use, but different day when you look up different items all the time. Sometimes you want to go to the school website, and sometimes it's fun to see a little bit what's on a school's website before I visit them. And it can be hard to find the address or the phone number or certain links, right? That the schools can use this area to put in one spot this information and make it available to your family. So, all right, great. Doesn't look like there's any questions, so I'll keep on rolling. So here's a couple of frequently asked questions. First, when will the family app be available? It's currently in the queue in the App Store. It's on track to be ready by Friday. So very excited. So you can't go out there today and download it, but if you go out there by Friday, if everything goes well, right, that's up to the developers at Apple and Google. Once they approve it, we should be good to go. Is there a charge for the family app? No, but you must subscribe to JMC Family, right? So the JMC Family portal is what families use to log online. You have to have that to be able to use the JMC Family app. All right, drawn to an end here. We have our upcoming webinar schedule. Coming up next week, a webinar for your families introducing JMCs to the Family app, right? That's meant just for families. Of course, school members can attend as well. You can sign up if you want to, and then get it emailed to you, and you can then forward that presentation to your families. We'll get right into it. I won't be going over the teacher part like I did in this one. I'll be going right into the family app presentation. And on 512, Stump the Expert. Sign up via the JMC office or JMC teacher homepage today. Love at JMC? Interested in a part-time gig? We are hiring for our client service program. Contact Brett Joyce if interested at brett.joyce@jmcinc.com. Another great way to stay up to date on all things JMC is to follow our new social media presence. Follow us today on one of our social channels, including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and our blog. Lots of great ways to stay up to date and hear what's shaking at JMC. That's all there is to it, folks. I will hang on the line. If anybody has any questions they want to ask, I'll hang on the line for another minute or so. But I know that Lynn Evans was a part of it. We didn't have any questions as of yet, but Lynn, thanks for being on the line there and being willing to answer any questions. But I am personally very excited for teachers to be able to roll this out because it'll give that, just speaking directly to teachers, it'll give that academic information. It'll serve it up in even more of a easy to access way for your families, right? They can have it on the go when they're at an event or they're at school and they want to come and touch base with you as a teacher. They can say, let me look at how my kid's doing before I step into the classroom and say, hey, how's my kid doing? And be blindsided by something. They can check it out all on their own. Again, we want to make sure that JMC is accessible. So having it accessible in the mobile device, whereas a lot of families that don't have a home computer might have a mobile device, is really handy. So I'm excited about that release, and this should make it that information more usable and more accessible for many of your families. So doesn't look like there's any questions. So thanks everybody for your time, and thanks for choosing JMC.